Hey there, wonderful matrix. Welcome to Educate. Today we'll be starting with a vertical projectile motion. So basically, this is not anything new because it's something that you do each and every day practically. Okay? So basically, let's say you throw an object into the air. Let's just say this is an object and then I throw it up into the air. What happens to the object? Does it go up and up and up to the clouds until it rains or something like that? No. But the object actually comes back down into my hand. I mean, look at this. This is an object, it goes up and back to my hand. In grade 11, you have been introduced to the force that the earth exerts on an object, which is known as the gravitational force or the weight of an object. We said that according to what Newton discovered, the objects, when they go up, they come back to the surface of the earth. This is because there is a gravitational force. So now we just want to study the motion of such objects whereby the gravitational force is actually pushing down the object back to my hand. For example, here I throw the object up and then gravity pushes it down. Imagine the force of the earth pushing the object down. For example, if I jump up there and then now gravitational force brings me down back to the earth. So it's a similar approach, but this time when I throw an object up, it comes back to my hand. So basically, that type of motion is known as free fall motion. So let's talk about free fall motion first. So we define free fall motion. So this is known as free fall motion. So free fall motion, how do we define it? This is the motion in which the only force acting on an object is the gravitational force. Or you can say that this is the motion of an object when it is experiencing gravitational force only. So we say that this is the motion in which the only force acting on an object is the gravitational force. Okay, so this is known as free fall motion. We're talking about that motion. Remember guys, motion is simply movement. When something is moving in physics term, we say that it is in motion. So basically we are going to study this type of motion or this type of movement whereby the only force acting on an object is the gravitational force. Remember guys, for an object to be able to move or for us to have the movement of an object, we need to have a force that is responsible for that movement. So in this case, the force that is responsible for the movement of the object is the gravitational force, and it is the gravitational force only. Okay, that's why we say this is free fall motion. So this is actually the type of motion whereby the object is falling. That's why we call it free fall, right? Because the moment you throw the object up and then it comes back down again, you throw it up, it comes back down again. Okay, it is just falling freely because of gravitational force. That's why we call it free fall motion. So basically, when this object is thrown up, when it comes back, it is in free fall motion because the only force acting on it is the gravitational force. So here we pretend or we assume that we do not have any frictional force. We do not have any air resistance or anything like that. We only have got one force that is causing the object to fall, and that is the gravitational force only. So it is very imperative for you guys to write this keyword only, because if you don't write the keyword only, you would assume that we can have any other forces. But here we are saying that the free fall type of motion or the free fall type of movement is the movement whereby the only force acting is the gravitational force. There is only gravitational force and no other force besides that. Okay, so now we now know that we have got free fall motion. Let's now look at a projectile. What is a projectile? Because we are studying vertical projectile motion, right? A projectile is the object that has been given an initial velocity, but now it moves under the influence of gravitational force only. So when we want to define a projectile, we define a projectile as an object. So this is an object that has been given an initial velocity. So it has been given an initial velocity and then moves. So it then moves under the influence of gravitational force only. Okay, so now this object that is in free fall motion, it has been given an initial velocity. What do we mean when we say that the object has been given an initial velocity? Basically, when you were throwing the object up into the air, you were giving it an initial velocity because you actually applied the force to it. You pushed it so that it can go up into the air. You pushed it again up into the air. So you are giving the object an initial velocity when you are throwing it up, right? So basically, this is an object that has been given an initial velocity. So after giving this object an initial velocity, it will now move under the influence of only gravitational force and no other force. Okay, so these two definitions are very similar, but they are not referring to the same thing. Guys, remember that free fall motion is a type of movement. Motion is movement, right? It's a type of movement, okay, whereby the only force acting on that object which is moving is the gravitational force. But the projectile is the object itself. There is a difference between movement and an object, guys. I mean, for example, this is the object. You can see this marker is an object, right? And then the movement is how it moves. That's two different things. So although these definitions are similar because all of them, they've got this keyword, gravitational force only, but they are not the same definitions because the first one, free fall motion, it describes the movement whereby the only force acting on the object is the gravitational force. That is free fall motion. And the projectile itself is an object which is undergoing the free fall motion. So it is the object that you have given an initial velocity, but then now it moves under the influence of gravitational force only. So now let's look at the dynamics at how this whole scenario works, okay? Okay, so first of all, the question that I asked you guys is that when I throw the object up into the air, does it continue going up and up and up into the clouds? And we say no, because like common sense, guys, when you throw the object, it comes back to your hand. Now we already know the reason why it is coming back to your hand is because gravitational force is pushing it down. When you are throwing it up, gravity pushes it down, okay? So when you throw it up again, the gravitational force pushes it down again continuously. Now we want to try and analyze the motion to say what is actually happening to the object. Why does it actually go up and comes back down? Why doesn't it continue flying and going up again? It is because, first of all, let's just say your object starts here. This is a ball that I'm going to throw up into the air. So this ball is being thrown up into the air and up into the air and up into the air. So as I said, the ball will not be able to continue moving up forever, but it will come back to where it started or to where it was thrown, okay? So what is actually happening here? At first, you threw the ball up, you gave it an initial velocity, right? You gave it an initial velocity, you threw it up. Maybe you gave it an initial velocity of maybe, let's just say you gave it 20 meters per second. So you gave it 20 meters per second. So this simply means that you have actually thrown the ball such that when it goes up, it has got this velocity, which is 20 meters per second. But since velocity is a vector quantity, guys, remember that velocity is a vector quantity. It must have magnitude and direction. So this is 20 meters per second up. This is the velocity, or this is the velocity that you have given at the beginning of the motion, right? So when the object goes up and goes up and goes up, it will reach a point where it will stop and it will come back to your hand, okay? So for example, when I throw this marker, it reached this point and it came back to my hand, okay? I throw it up, it reached this point and came back to my hand. I throw it up, it reached this point and came back to my hand. Okay, so basically what's happening here, at this point, the maximum point or the highest point a projectile can reach is known as the maximum height. So this point where the object stops and returns back is known as the maximum height. So this is the maximum height. So when you hear the term maximum height, we are simply referring to the topest position where this ball will end, or where this object will end. For example, this marker, when I throw it up, it ended somewhere around here. So we say that this is the maximum height. So this is the position where it ended, is known as the maximum height. Okay, let's just say this ball, when I threw it up with 20 meters per second, it went up and up and up and up again until it reached maybe a height of 2 meters. So we'll say that here, the maximum height from the ground here, it is 2 meters. Because I throw my object from here, which is the ground, and it went up and it went up. And it ended here at 2 meters and it came back to my hand again. So what scenario do I expect to happen here? It should come back to my hand. It should come back to my hand again. So when this ball goes up, here is my ball. Let's just say it's up there. Okay, now it will come back. So this is the reverse motion. It is now coming back to where it started. Okay, so it comes back to where it started. So now, what's happening here at the maximum height? At the maximum height, the velocity of the ball is 0 meters per second. Why do I even say that? Guys, remember guys, when we say that something has got velocity or something has got speed, it simply means that it is moving or it is continuing to move in a certain direction. For example, this was moving up by 20 meters per second. But when it reaches the maximum height, the ball stops. It stops for a moment and then it will come back to your hand. For example, this marker here, I will make this example a million times. When I throw it up, it reaches this point and it comes back. At that point or at the maximum height, it stops for a moment. It stops for a moment and it comes back to my hand again. So we say that at the maximum height, what we need to know is that the velocity at the maximum height is 0 meters per second. Yes, because basically this object cannot go up and come back down again without stopping, right? I mean, for you to be able to change a direction, you need to stop first. It was going up at first and it reached a maximum height. And when it reached a maximum height, its velocity is 0 meters per second. And then what did it do again? It came back to where it started. Okay, so now look at this. It started with a velocity of 20 meters per second up. But when it gets to the top, it has got a velocity of 0. So what can you tell about the velocity there? The velocity actually decreases as the object is going up into the upper atmosphere, or when it is going up. Okay, so basically when this object is being thrown up, its velocity decreases. So it means that since it started with 20 meters per second, when it goes up, it will decrease. When it goes up again, it will decrease until it reaches 0. When it reaches 0, it simply means that it cannot continue decreasing anymore. It has stopped, because 0 velocity, it means that it has stopped or it is at rest. But this happens only for a short while. So basically when you throw the object up, it reaches a maximum height, it stops for a bit. Maybe it stops for less than a second and it comes back to your hand again. Okay, so basically what's happening here, this velocity decreases as the ball is going up into the air. So we can say that here velocity decreases. So velocity decreases as the object goes up. So as the object goes up, the velocity decreases. You are going to find out the reasons why that happens when you learn of work, energy and power later on this year. But basically you need to know that the velocity decreases as an object goes up. So it decreased from 20 meters per second. It decreased until it reached 0 meters per second here at the maximum height. So when it is at the maximum height, its velocity is just 0 meters per second. Its velocity has decreased. Okay? Now you ask yourself, how much does this velocity decrease? Or what is the rate at which this velocity decreases, or the rate at which it changes? It is 9.8 meters per second, okay, each second. So basically, when this ball goes up, after 1 second, its velocity will decrease by 9.8 meters per second. So let's just say it started with 20 meters per second. It was going up, right? So after 1 second, as it is going up, after 1 second, it will decrease, its velocity will decrease by 9.8 meters per second. All right, so we can say that if it happens, this ball here is after 1 second here, its new velocity at this point, it will be 20 minus 9.8 meters per second. Why are we subtracting? Because velocity is decreasing as the object is going up. By how much is the velocity decreasing? 9.8 meters per second. So basically, after 1 second, so after the time of 1 second, the velocity of the ball will decrease by 9.8 meters per second. So it means that after 2 seconds, the ball will decrease by what? It will decrease by 20 minus 2 times 9.8, because it's after 2 seconds, right? So let's just write it here and say that it started with 20 meters per second. That was its initial velocity when it was down, right? And then after 1 second, let's just say after 1 second, let's just say here, after 1 second, the new speed or the new velocity, let's just say the new velocity is going to be 20 minus 9.8 meters per second. And if you take your calculator, you just punch that in, it's 20 minus 9.8, that is going to give you 10.2 meters per second. 10.2 meters per second. So it means that after 1 second, the ball has changed its velocity from 20 meters per second up to 10.2 meters per second up. Okay? Now, after 2 seconds, now, what would happen after 2 seconds? After 2 seconds, this ball will lose another 9.8 meters per second. Another 9.8 meters per second. So it means that the initial velocity, which was 20, we are now going to subtract it by 2 times 9.8. Because remember that it has lost 9.8 meters per second, but now it's for 2 seconds. At first, it was for 1 second. That is why we only subtracted 9.8 meters per second. But now, after 2 seconds, it will lose another 9.8 meters per second, right? So that's why we are saying this is 20 minus 2 seconds times 9.8 meters per second. And that is going to give you something like a 20 minus 2 times 9.8 would give you something like 0.4. So this will be 0.4 meters per second. Do you see that the velocity keeps on decreasing? You see, at first it was 20 meters per second. After 1 second, it is now 10.2 meters per second. After another second, it's now 0.4 meters per second. It will keep on decreasing until it reaches 0 meters per second at the maximum height. Okay? Until it reaches 0 meters per second at the maximum height. So remember, guys, that according to your grade 10, you have learned that acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. It is how fast the velocity is changing with respect to time, or how fast does the velocity change as time changes. So here we say that our acceleration here, it is going to be the change in velocity over the change in time. And we say that, Tina, how does the velocity change? By how much does the velocity change? It changes by 9.8 meters per second. So it changes by 9.8 meters per second. After how much time does that happen? After 1 second. So that's why we say that the acceleration of a projectile is 9.8 meters per second squared. That is the acceleration of a projectile. Okay, or that's the acceleration of an object experiencing gravitational force only. So basically, we say that here our velocity is going to decrease as the object is going up. is going to decrease by how much? It's going to decrease by 9.8 meters per second each and every second. So for each and every second, after 1 second, we are going to say 20, the initial velocity, the first one that we started with, minus 9.8, we end up at 10.2 meters per second. After 2 seconds, we're going to say another 9.8 again. It means that from this 10.2, we are subtracting 9.8 meters per second. Again, we end up at 0.4 meters per second. This 0.4 meters per second, it is still going up, but with a slower speed. So it slows down as it is going up. And it will slow down until 0 meters per second. When it reaches 0 meters per second, I say that it is at its maximum height. It cannot continue going up. Guys, how can it continue going up without any velocity anymore? It's saying 0 meters per second. So it's no longer moving. It's no longer going up. It stops there for a moment and it comes back to your hand again. So at this point, we say that here, the acceleration is the change in the velocity over the change in time. It is the rate of change of velocity. That's how you learned it in grade 10, right? So basically here, when you're saying acceleration is delta V over delta T, it is the change in velocity over the change in time. And how much did I say the velocity changes? It changes by 9.8 meters per second. So the velocity changes by 9.8 meters per second. In this case, the velocity was decreasing by 9.8 meters per second as it was going up. And for how long did that take? It took 1 second for this velocity to change by 9.8. Because here, after 1 second, we decreased the velocity, the initial velocity, by 9.8 meters per second. So that is why we say that our acceleration for all objects that are undergoing a free fall motion, all the projectiles, they accelerate at 9.8 meters per second squared. Okay, so now you get the sense of where this is going, right? So basically here, it simply means that this object decreases its velocity as it is going up. What about when it is coming back down? So when the object is now coming back down to where it started, the opposite will happen. Now what will happen? Its velocity will increase. So now when the object was going up, the velocity was decreasing. But now when the object is coming back down to your hand, its velocity increases. So the velocity of the object increases as the object comes back down. So now, when the object is now coming back down to your hand again, the velocity increases, is the opposite, right? So when the object was going up, the velocity decreased. It became slower and slower and slower and slower until it reached a maximum height where it stopped. But now when it comes back to your hand, its velocity increases. It starts gaining velocity. It starts speeding up and it comes back hitting your hand with a lot of speed, because it's now increasing its velocity as it comes back down. So when I throw it up, the velocity decreases, but when it comes back down, it increases. By how much does the velocity increase? It increases by the same amount. It's still 9.8 meters per second. Okay, so now when it comes back down, it will increase by 9.8 meters per second every second. So we can say that the acceleration of projectiles is constant. So whenever we're dealing with vertical projectile motion, just know that the acceleration remains constant, and this acceleration is 9.8 meters per second. This acceleration is not the first time seeing 9.8 meters per second, because you guys have learned it in energy in grade 10. So this acceleration is known as the gravitational acceleration. So this is the acceleration due to the gravitational force. Okay, so now you ask yourself, why does the velocity increase? Why does the velocity decrease as the object is going up, and all of that? So when the object is going up, gravitational force is pushing it down, causing it to slow down and slow down and slow down. But now when the object is now coming back to your hand from up to down, so now the gravitational force is pushing it down is now it's like pushing it, and as it is pushing it down back to your hand, it speeds up. Okay, so that's why we say that the velocity now increases as the object comes back down. But when it is going up, when the object is going up, it is kind of opposing the gravitational force, because gravitational force, remember, it always acts downwards, right? So when the object is going up, it is kind of opposing the gravitational force. That is why it slows down and the velocity decreases by 9.8 meters per second each second. So whenever they ask you the acceleration of this object, you are going to say it's 9.8 meters per second squared downwards. Now we add the direction, because remember that acceleration is a vector quantity. So it's 9.8 meters per second squared downwards. Why is it downwards? It's because, remember guys, that the gravitational force keeps on pushing the object down no matter what happens. Even when the object is going up, the gravitational force pushes the object down. Even when the object is coming back down, the gravitational force keeps on pushing the object down again. Gravitational force is constant, guys. It is the force that actually pushes the objects down to the surface of the earth. So even when the object is going up, gravity is pushing it down. Even when the object is coming back down, gravity is still pushing it down. It is the one that is causing it to come back down to my hand. Okay, that is why the acceleration here is downwards, because you guys learned of Newton's second law that whenever you apply a net force, right, the object will accelerate in the same direction as the net force. So in this case, the force that is being applied to a projectile or to an object under free fall motion, it is the gravitational force, and gravitational force always acts downwards. Hence we say that the acceleration for all projectiles is always 9.8 meters per second squared downwards. So it means that when the object is going up, it loses 9.8 meters per second every second, and when it coming back down again, it gains the same amount. So basically, what does this imply? It simply implies that when the object is now coming back down, so when the object is now coming back down, what actually happens? Let's say that here at this point, at the maximum height, it has got a velocity of 0 meters per second. So when the object is coming back down to your hand, it gains 9.8 every second. So from that 0 meters per second that it has at the maximum height, when gravitational force keeps on pushing down the object, it will start gaining 9.8 meters per second. It will gain 9.8 meters per second, gain it, such that when the object comes back to where it started, it will have the same velocity. It will still have the same velocity. It will be 20 meters per second, but now it will be downwards, because you threw the object and gave it an initial velocity of 20 meters per second. It lost all that velocity as it was going up, and it reached a maximum height. Now gravitational force will give it back all the velocity, the 9.8 meters per second, all of it is going to give it back in such a way that when it comes back to the same point where it started, it would have what? A final velocity of 20 meters per second downwards. So the velocity here and the velocity here is equal, because these objects are at the same point, right? So this is the same position where the ball went up and came back. It came back to the same position. So if it has lost 20 meters per second going up to the maximum height, when it comes back down from the maximum height to where it started, it will gain the same amount. It's like, guys, it's going up, it is losing, and then when it comes back down, it gains and it gains. So it's like I gave you 100 Rand for 3 days, 100 Rand for 3 days. And then I realized that you are naughty. I take away the 100 Rand for another 3 days. So after 6 days, you will be back to 0 Rand again. It's because I'm the gravitational force. I give you when you are going down, and I take away from you when you are going up. So in this case, when the object is going up, the velocity decreases. When it is coming back down, the velocity increases. So thank you so much for watching this introductory video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends also. Stay tuned.